Okay, Wagner, how's this looking? Looking okay? Have I got everything okay?
No, Dave, your belt is completely wrong.
What? What's the matter with it?
So you need to show the tools.
It's on backwards. All right, there we go. Well, okay, now better?
Okay, easy.
Better. All right, so we got some of these tools here. So I just wanted, something where I'm using one of these tools. What's this thing?
No, okay, so use the hammer, not this
hammer.
one. Okay. I think you have no idea.
All right, so here we are. Okay, there we go. So I'll start off here. All right, hammer.
Okay.
Okay. Hi there, everybody. This is Dave DeBow, handyman from Canadian Profits. And now, actually, I have to admit, I'm not a very handy kind of guy. I'm about as handy as a foot. So Mike Holmes does not have to worry about me taking over his job. However, I will say that myself, along with my team of Canadian business experts, we are definitely business profit and business turnaround renovation specialists. And nowadays, with the economy being the way it is, kind of ups and downs and flats and the whole bit, we don't know if we're going to get out of the recession, if we're going back into another recession, or what's going on. It's a completely different game than it was a few years ago. So if you're in business for yourself, if you're self-employed, you got a small company, you're an independent professional, you're a real estate investor, it's more important now than ever that you really know what you're doing with your businesses, how to renovate your business and your profits. And that's why we've created this brand new program.
And it's called the Canadian Profits Business Accelerator Toolkit for the new Canadian economy. And I'll tell you all about it in just a minute. But first, I want to share with you what I think the biggest challenge is that we as Canadian small business owners face. Listening to all the crud on the evening news. When we allow ourselves to get caught up with all of the doom and gloom that is incessantly fed to us on the news, and let's face it, bad news sells. The problem for us is that we start to buy into the whole idea that the economy is bad, things are getting worse, and that everything is out of our control. However, for you and I, nothing could be further from the truth. The truth is, we can control our own economy. Let me tell you a story about how I learned this vitally important lesson. I lived and owned a business in Costa Rica for over 10 years. Now, it seems that in Latin America, financial and economic fluctuations are magnified. Because it's such a small country, it's almost completely dependent on imports and exports for its economic survival. And by far, the biggest trading partner is the United States. Does that sound familiar? Any little blip in the American economy or American foreign policy sent economic shockwaves throughout the country. On top of that, there was currency devaluation and inflation at the same time. To give you an idea of how volatile things were, I was thrilled to have a mortgage locked in at 20% a year, and my credit card interest rate was over 50%, and that was normal. So the whole country was in a constant state of economic flux. I used to get worked up and uptight about it until I realized that I had absolutely zero control over the country's economic state. The only thing I could have any possible control over was my own personal and business economy. So that's what I did. I quit paying attention to the gloom and doom on the news and started focusing all of my efforts on what I could control, my own business and how I attracted and kept my clients. And by making that switch, I was able to skyrocket my struggling little business from the bottom of the pile to the top 3 with over 50 direct and indirect competitors in quite a short time. And that's what I want for you too. To be able to enjoy a super profitable business, earn the kind of money you deserve, and have a lot more fun while you do it. And that's why I've put together this outstanding new program, the Canadian Profits Business Accelerator Toolkit. And before I get into the details of what's included, I'd like to share a few quick profit turnaround tips with you. The first tip is a radical mind shift that I want to share with you. When you get this concept, it will not only help you to increase your bottom line profits, but you will also create a strong financial foundation for your entire company. The tip is to stop focusing all of your advertising and marketing on trying to attract new customers in the door. Now, I know that sounds counterintuitive, but it makes complete sense, and I'll tell you all about that in a minute. But first, I have to share another tip that you absolutely must follow in tough economic times. If you don't do this, you're unknowingly nailing the lid on your own financial coffin. So when times are tight, like they are right now for many people, you must cut the fat. When times are good, we tend to bring on a lot more expenses and overhead than we really need. And that's okay when the dough's rolling in and sales are easy, but it's a business killer when times are tight, like they are right now. Now is the time to check over all of your expenses. Do you have more staff than you really need? This is the perfect reason to cull the deadweight around the office. Are your suppliers really giving you the best prices and terms that they could be? Or have their prices crept up on you and they are no longer competitive? Here's an eye-opening exercise for you. Get out your calculator and figure out exactly how much you need to sell gross sales to make $1 of net profit. And I mean after all of your overhead, including your salary, is taken out. Once you do this, you will quickly see that a dollar saved is far more than a dollar earned. In fact, it could equal $10, $20, or even $50 of earned income. So cut the fat and be more profitable, now and for the long run. Now I want to share a controversial idea with you. This concept flies in the face of so-called common business sense and the way 90% of all struggling small business owners and professionals think. However, if you take this idea and run with it, you'll be taking advantage of a brand new profit center that up until now you've been literally throwing away. Here's the tip. Embrace your competition. I know this might sound a little crazy when we're talking about creating more profits in an economic downturn. However, check it out. I first heard about this from marketing legend Jay Abraham, and then again from my friend and joint venture expert Robin J. Elliott. The cold hard truth is this: we all have unconverted leads. These are people who are in the market for our product or service. They contact us about it, but for some reason they don't end up buying from us. Like it or not, we cannot please everyone. However, with what I'm going to share with you, you can still profit from them. Why? Because your competitors have the same challenge. So what if, instead of letting those hot leads just fly away, you came to an agreement with a good, solid competitor and you trade unconverted leads? So if the person you send to your competitor buys from them, you earn a 10 or 20% commission, whatever you agree upon. And the same holds true when they send you one of their unconverted leads and that person ends up buying from you. It's a win-win-win situation. You win because you make money from someone who decided not to do business with you. Your competitor wins because they get a new customer delivered right to them. And the customer wins because they receive the product or service that they were looking for in the first place. Everyone is happy and everyone makes more money. That's very smart. Now remember that first tip I mentioned to you earlier? The mind shift about getting away from spending all of your marketing and advertising budget on trying to attract new customers? Listen, because here's the concept. There are only 3 ways to grow any business, including yours. A, to get more customers. This seems obvious. The more customers you have, the better you'll do, right? Well, not necessarily. Let's look at the other 2 ways of growing your business and why they are a better place to focus most of your marketing budget and energy. B, to sell more to the customers you already have. This could mean that you get them to increase the average amount that they purchase from you and or to increase your prices of what you already sell to them. In either case, you're making a bigger sell to the same person. So you need fewer customers if you're selling each customer more, right? Now let's look at the third way to grow your business. Again, without adding any more customers. And that's C, to sell more often to the customers you already have. So now that we're selling more to our existing customers, if we can figure out a way to get them to come back and buy from us more often, it puts our whole sales process on steroids. With the same number of customers, we're selling more and more often. How cool is that? In times of economic challenge, most small business owners make the mistake of focusing exclusively on A, trying to get more customers in the door. The savvy thing to do is to focus on B and C, getting your current customers to spend more with you and to come back more often. Why? Because getting a brand new customer is the most expensive, time-consuming, and least profitable way to increase sales. So the customers you already have are far easier and more economical to reach and to entice to buy more and more often from you. Okay, I hope you like those tips, and most importantly, that you take them to heart and start applying those ideas to your own business and your situation. Now, if you like those quick tips, then you will absolutely love the powerful ideas, strategies, and business growth formulas that you'll get with the new Canadian Profits Business Accelerator Toolkit. Since I first began interviewing leading Canadian business experts back in 2006, I've had the pleasure of meeting some of the sharpest small business minds in the country, if not the world. And to create this program, I looked back through my archives of materials to find the absolute best and most action-based interviews and materials I have ever done. I combined them according to how much immediate value they could bring fast to a small business owner or self-employed professional. And here's what's included. 7 of the best business-focused audio CD success interviews that we've ever created, including tantalizing tax tips, how to keep more jingle in your jeans with Mr. Lorne B. Stanners. This is a $49.95 value. In this interview, Lorne tells me about different up-to-date tax tips and strategies that can save the average business owner a lot of their hard-earned money. Goodness knows we give enough of it to Canada Revenue Agency already. It's about time we learn how to keep more of it for ourselves, 100% legally, ethically, and legitimately. Next, we've got Marketing Dangerously with the Turnaround Guy, Mr. Neil Godden. Again, a $49.95 value. Neil Godden, also known as the Turnaround Guy, is one of North America's leading business speakers, trainers, and writers. And while most of his clients are healthy, growing companies, Neil also does highly specialized turnaround work with small and mid-sized companies in crisis. These turnaround projects are his testing ground for the innovative, exciting, fast-acting, and inexpensive ideas he delivers in his writing, speaking, training, and consulting work, as well as this interview. His turnaround work has made Neil a walking encyclopedia of business-building strategies that don't rely on expensive advertising or old-fashioned, intrusive selling. In this interview, I get Neil to share some of his most creative turnaround stories, as well as his methods of breaking through the barrier of cold call sales that so many people dread and that give sales a bad name. Neil's way of doing sales calls is completely different, far more effective, and actually enjoyable. Neil also shows us how to use some modern, low-cost marketing strategies like YouTube to create buzz around our products and services. Next, we've got yours truly with Money-Making Marketing for Canadians, the interview. And this again is a $49.95 value. So I began my infatuation with marketing while I was living in San Jose, Costa Rica. And by learning and implementing effective direct response marketing, I was able to take my struggling little company from the bottom of the pack to the top 3 with over 50 direct and indirect competitors in just 2.5 short years. Upon returning to Canada in 2003, I continued to put my marketing skills to good use. First in the field of creative real estate investing, where I did 18 flips in 18 months, then with advertising business, and later as a marketing consultant. And I really came into my own as a bona fide marketing expert when I began working with Canadian rich dad Darren Weeks. I initiated a whole new marketing focus for Darren, and in 4 years helped to quintuple the database from 15,000 to over 90,000 event attendees. And this has enabled the fast-track group of companies to grow to $100 million in gross annual sales, and to land a spot on the prestigious Profit 100 list of fastest-growing companies in Canada. In this interview, I discuss in detail how I did this, as well as sharing several of my favorite low-cost and super high-impact customer magnet secrets. Next, we have business exit strategies for today's economy with Pino Baccinello, again a $49.95 value. So Canadian Business Profits writer Pino Baccinello is a business broker who truly understands business inside and out. Pino has been an entrepreneur his entire adult life, starting starting, building, and selling numerous businesses of his own prior to becoming a professional business broker. In this interview, Pino and I discuss the current economic climate and the importance of having a solid exit plan for selling your business. Now, the vast majority of small business owners are woefully unprepared to sell their businesses, and they only think about it when they have to sell it. This often means that they either don't get anywhere near the price they wanted for the business, and it takes a very long time to sell, or they have to simply close the doors and get nothing for their business. In this interview, I dig in and find out what you can do to get your business ready for sale before you have to, in order to get top dollar for it and to sell it faster and easier. Next, we have Making a Boring Business Fun and Exciting with Michael McLean, again a $49.95 value. Michael McLean is a former professional and junior hockey coach and team owner. He joined his father's small town insurance agency back in 2002 with no insurance experience. He then tripled the size of the agency in the first 36 months, from $3.4 million to $10.3 million in sales. Some of the topics covered in this interview include how he took his junior hockey team attendance from worst to first in his league, how he was able to make a mundane business, insurance, adjust to his fun-loving lifestyle and outrageous marketing style, what Michael did to combat and thrive against huge new competitors in his market, Michael's 3 biggest success habits that have helped him to triple the size of his business in 3 years in spite of this new competition. Then we have Build It to Sell It with John Warlow, again a $49.95 value. John Warlow is a successful entrepreneur, radio host, and author of the book Built to Sell, Turn Your Business into One You Can Sell. John is a serial entrepreneur, having started 4 different businesses from scratch. When he started to get burnt out from his last business and decided it was time to sell, he had a successful business consultancy, and he was dismayed to hear a business mentor tell him, "As it is, your business is basically worthless." Why? Because John was the business. He was the main doer and promoter of his business. So even though it was a moneymaker, it was not worth anything to a buyer, unless John stuck around to continue to run it. It took him a couple of years, but he turned his business into a sellable asset and did exactly that in 2008. Some of the topics covered in this interview include why business is the surest path to creating financial freedom, the biggest mistakes business owners make when they try to sell their companies, 4 of John's 8 steps to selling your business, and much more. And then we got another interview with our good friend Neil Godden, Selling Without Selling, again a $49.95 value. In this interview, Neil and I discuss his focus area for the new economy, how to sell without selling. As Neil says, we all got a little fat and lazy during the go-go times of the last economic boom, where instead of really selling, we were more like order takers. Now that the economy is less vibrant, many of us do not know how to sell effectively. Neil gets in-depth about his concept of attraction selling, where his motto of, "If I call you, I'm a salesperson. If you call me, I'm an expert," definitely comes into play. And then I've got a very special bonus for you. This is a special diamond presentation called What's Working Now with Online Marketing by Dan the Man Locke. This is a $239.95 value. On this exclusive video, Dan the Man Locke shares exactly what he's doing now to grow his multiple online businesses, several of which are multi-million-dollar enterprises. Dan is the real deal when it comes to online business and marketing. In this video, he shares what is working best with online marketing now, and just as importantly, what is no longer working like it used to. This is a very special video I created for my exclusive diamond level members of Canadian Real Estate Profits. These top-notch members invested $239.95 for this program, and we're thrilled to get it. And then we have Money-Making Marketing for Canadians, the book. This is a $24.95 value. In this outstanding book, I bring together 10 of Canada's leading direct response marketers, copywriters, and super successful small business owners. They all share their best secrets about how to grow your business, practice, or consultancy quickly and inexpensively through proven and effective marketing and advertising. Listen, if you're looking for answers about how to get more customers, how to get them to spend more money with you and to do business with you more often, this book has it all. And then we also have the next 2 issues of the Canadian Business Profits monthly newsletter program and audio CD success interviews. This is a $99.90 value included as part of this package. So you've heard me mention this uniquely Canadian-focused business program before, and I wouldn't want to get you started renovating your business without providing you with an outstanding support, motivation, education, and inspiration to succeed. And that's exactly what Canadian Profits is all about. The program consists of a monthly hard copy newsletter with over a dozen of Canada's leading small business, sales, and marketing experts. These are not journalists or academics who just write about business or have theory. These are folks who have proven themselves in the trenches and have become very successful in their respective fields. And best of all, everything we teach and discuss is proven to work right here in Canada. None of the old rehashed American stuff that doesn't quite work here. In addition to the monthly newsletter, there's also a monthly audio CD success interview where I interview a business expert and extract their best tips, ideas, and strategies that you can put to use in your own business right now. Why reinvent the wheel when you can learn from the best? Just one little idea you get from either the newsletter or the CD can more than pay for your membership for years to come. With this offer, you get a 2-issue test drive of the program. And if you're like most of our smart participants, you're going to love it and want to continue at our lowest new member rate of just $49.95 per month for as long as you wish to remain a member. And don't worry, if for any reason you don't love it, you can cancel at any time. There is no minimum commitment. Whew, that's a lot that's included with the Canadian Profits Business Accelerator Toolkit. Let's take a quick review of everything that's involved. Again, tantalizing tax tips, marketing dangerously with Neil Godden, money-making marketing, the interview, how to make a boring business fun and exciting, build it to sell it with John Warlow, selling without selling with Neil Godden, business exit strategies, my book, Money-Making Marketing for Canadian, What's Working Now Online with Dan the Man Locke, and the 2-issue trial of Canadian Business Profits. The total value of all of these items sold separately is $689.55. Your investment, however, is only 2 payments of $49.95. Listen, don't decide right now. Take advantage of my unconditional triple guarantee. Just try the Business Accelerator Toolkit for yourself for the next 60 days, and if you apply what you learn and don't make at least $5,000 in increased sales in those 60 short days, or if you don't get at least 10 times the value you've paid for it in the first 30 days, or even if you just don't like the way the book is designed, the way I do interviews, you name it, I'll gladly refund you every penny. No questions, no hassles. However, I must warn you, take action now. This is a marketing experiment, and I may either take it down or raise the price at any time. Look below this video right now. Click on the orange button that says Add to Cart to claim your Business Accelerator Toolkit now. You'll be granted immediate access to everything, all 7 of the audio interviews, the What's Working Now with Online Marketing video, plus your free bonus of the next 2 issues of Canadian Business Profits worth $99 will start arriving in your mailbox soon, just for taking immediate action today. Click the Add to Cart orange rectangular button below, and let's get you started now. Here's what will happen the moment you click on the Add to Cart button below this video. First, you'll be taken to our 100% secure checkout page. Order the Business Accelerator Toolkit, and you'll then be immediately taken to the product download page. It's that simple. So just click on the Add to Cart orange rectangular button below, and let's get you started now.